Hey Dan, I am getting back to you regarding your video that you got back to me on. So you were saying that we've been making lots of videos kind of crossing in the night. And now it's my chance to comment on your videos and also to answer a few of the questions that you posed in your last, I guess that was like 2 weeks ago. Flies. I hate flies. Anyway, sorry. Reading a text comes in. I hate using my phone because, people call or people text and it's annoying and a little distracting. So let's start with the most recent stuff, your Iceland visit. Really, Iceland is funny because when you were first showing that video with all the falls, I thought, man, that looks a lot like the area around Palouse Falls. A little barren, no trees, lots of water, rushing over waterfall, Palouse Falls. But that one waterfall that came down right into the cleft and it sort of hit here and then went this way, that was really cool. Because you could get so close to looking at the face of the falls. As it hit, it took a sharp left. That was really neat. What was the name of that waterfall? I'd love to look up information on that. Were there a lot of tourists? I mean, it seemed like there were a lot of people, which surprised me for October. I wouldn't think that October in Iceland would be the height of tourist season, but I could be wrong. So what was the deal in the airport? It looked like there was some concern about not making the next flight. I'm guessing that you made it. Clearly, you made it. It's funny, when you were at the geysers, they looked like a giant butthole. So it was like, that's the butthole of the earth right there. It kind of reminds me of my Uncle Morty. Did you know that Iceland was the setting and the author was Icelandic of my favorite saga called Njal Saga, Njal. Anyway, if you don't know anything about Njal Saga, look it up. It's really, really cool. I actually read it in grad school, and I've read it several times since. It's sort of this saga that covers the family, Njal's family, as during a time when Iceland moves from being pagan to being Christian. So it's pretty interesting. There's a group called Flossie and the Burners, Flossi. So if you've never heard of Flossie and the Burners, I think it'd be a great band name, but look up Flossie and the Burners. Let's see, your place name's Atlas. That, I'm so glad that, and I know you were glad, but I'm so glad you finally got that done. You've got it in your hands. I think it looks great. You're right. Glossy paper, sure. If you have enough money, you have a lot of money, knock yourself out. But I think the book looked great, even on flat paper. It looked fine. I did notice a slight color issue on page 5. I'm surprised that no one addressed that in the printing and the press checks, but I guess I'll let it go. Yeah, that's yeah, I think it looks great. Where do I get one? Can I buy one? What do I do? I'd love to have a copy. I sound like my mom. I'm not much of a collector of things, but I would like a copy of that. So, and if you could go through and put little asterisks near all the maps that you data compiled, I imagine that you're going to have a new business card. This Dan Howe data set compiler and sex god. The second part is just to spice it up a little bit. Data set compiler doesn't exactly cause women to swoon. But yes, well done. I'm glad you finally got that. It's done. You're right. You've been talking about this thing for, well, as long as I've been in Minnesota, 13 years now. So I'm glad you finally got it done. Boats and Bluegrass. That is going to be next September. It's either the 22nd through the 24th or the 29th through the 1st. It doesn't say on their website yet what the dates are. But usually it's the last weekend in September, but the last weekend straddles October. So I don't know if they're going to move it up or what. But yeah, if you could come out, that would be awesome. Are you actually going to be in Pendleton at all next year? Because you're traveling a lot. I'm just concerned about you. But as long as you come out here for boats and bluegrass, then I won't be concerned. You could even sling a hammock. I showed you those hammocks along shore. Um, we could camp any number of places. But I think it would actually be fun. You could jam with people all night long, and I could sleep, and Colleen could sell coffee at 7 in the morning. Um, so camper vans. So you said Sarah wants something more elaborate. What do you want? And what's the compromise going to end up being? I'm assuming it's going to be somewhere in the middle. Um, and if Sarah doesn't want to go in a camper van, she doesn't have to go in a camper van. Why don't you just get something small? Get a small, like Taft did with his Honda Pilot. You don't need a whole camper van. If Sarah's not into the idea, that's she'd have to be she doesn't go hiking for 20 miles either. But find something small. And then if you want to go somewhere, meet her in Boston. Say, hey, you know what? I'm going to take a week. I'm going to fly to Boston. I'm going to drive to Boston, or I'm going to drive to Minot, and I'll meet you there. She can fly. Everybody's happy. So that's my suggestion. Unless something more elaborate means that RV out of the movie Stripes. Remember that with Bill? Bill, what's his name? And hold on, I had to get the dogs in. Those other guys. Dan Aykroyd was in it. They were in the army. Come on, guys. Come on. Yeah, don't bark at me. Good. Come on. Hey, come on. Go. Get in the house. Come on, get in the house. Come on. Get in the house. Sadie, come here. Come on. Come on. In the house. In the house. Go, 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 go. Yay. Everybody's in the house now. All right. Sorry about that interruption. So anyway, you should get something like that. Oh, he's got his bear. Look, he's got a bear. So anyway, something elaborate, like something from Stripes, then I'm in. Count me in. Let's see, what else? The big hike. Man, that was an awesome big hike. 22 miles. Yeah, it's surprising what you're capable of. I'm really glad that you pushed that. So when's the 30-mile hike? And when's the 40-mile hike? I wish I could do these with you. I cannot, at least not until I get a knee replaced. But I could meet you at the trailhead and meet you at the trail butt. Is that what they call the end of the trail? The trail butt? Anyway, yeah, that looked like a great hike. How did the dogs hold up? I mean, I'm assuming they were fine. It's only 22 miles, but still, it's a long way for a dog. And does Scott, your neighbor, I don't want you to confuse it with Scott and Moira. Scott, your neighbor, Scott Fairley, your neighbor, Scott Fairley. Did he bring dog food? He must bring food for the dogs as well, right? I thought it was really funny that he was throwing a stick for his lab into a forest full of sticks. Labs are funny that way. Some of the hike, when you were walking through the woods, I swear it looked like the Blair Witch hike. I love that, that first-person perspective. But yeah, it was. I was waiting for you to see hanging stickmen in the trees and to suddenly be taken. Anyway, yeah, it was beautiful scenery, and thanks for sharing. Conking your noggin. I really think that you need to get some silicone implanted in your forehead and around your head. That way it cushions your head whenever you hit it, whether it's on the soccer pitch, ooh, a blue bubble, or on the door window. But yeah, I know exactly what you're saying about, the Mini Cooper doesn't have a door frame. Yeah, that, and I can only imagine when you pulled that thing. I mean, you don't really think you're pulling it hard, but it's just like a whoa, bam, and all of a sudden it's like, whoa, what was that? I don't even know if you remember when I stepped on that pickaxe when we lived in Pullman, and as I was bending over, I stepped on the pickaxe, and the handle came up and whacked me. You can see that scar right there on my lip. That was from the pickaxe, literally hitting me full on in the face. And knocked me down. I thought I was going to pass out. Okay, golfing. Yes, it's getting cold. It was beautiful today. But I'm playing Friday. We actually had to move the tee time up from 8 up until noon because it's supposed to be a low of 30 on Friday morning. And it's going to be cold. It's going to be like 47 degrees when we tee off. But that's why God made long johns. Mental commitment. Yeah, I should be mentally committed. But regarding Colleen, you're right. Something clicked. She finally decided that she was going to race and not just run. The coaches have noticed it as well, and I'm really proud of her. You'll see, if you've not already watched the latest CC videos, she continues to impress. Rotary Exchange. We have Juliette in December and Joaquin, who's from Chile, in March. So that's that. Preston's interview for Rotary Exchange is next month, like before Thanksgiving, and he should find out before Christmas whether he gets accepted and whether he's going or not. So it's pretty exciting. Hunting opener. Yeah, hunting, you're right. It is soon. It's in fact tomorrow morning. Thursday morning. Thursday, Friday are days off from school statewide called MEA, which is, I don't know what the hell it is. Something, Minnesota Educators, something. So anyway, it's a statewide 2 days off from school for the kids, and the teachers do training. So that's why they have the youth opener during MEA weekend. So Colleen and I will be out on the tree stand at 6:30 tomorrow morning, waiting for the sun to come up so we can blast away at deer. Now, tell me again, how Carew wrecked his car. You talked a little bit about it in the video, but not much. He said he had stopped paying attention for just a second, but, come on. I hear these things when I was a cop all the time, so there's always more to the story. So give me the more to the story. What was he really doing? So get to the bottom of the story, Dan. Find out what he was really doing. Yeah, he could. He could put $2,500 in the car, but I don't know. I don't know what you think about that, but yeah, that's too bad. Welcome to being grown up. So you guys were over on the west side, and you went and saw your old drama teacher from high school? What was her name? Nancy Kiss My Students McLaren, something like that. How was that? Did she kiss you? Did you kiss her? Maybe she kissed Sarah. I don't know. Drone. I demand drone footage. Get that drone working, man. You spent so much time on it. Don't drop it now. How are the sales for the hidden words? Are you giving any away, or are you just selling them? What's the deal? Give me an update. I want to know when you and Snoop Dogg are going to be like accepting Grammys together. Also, one last thing. I sent you Kent's information. You should have gotten that in your email. So again, I thank you for that errand of mercy that you're running. And that's all I got. I'm going to go pick up my kids. And Colleen and I are going to go out and spend the night at Keith in Virginia so we can get up bright and early and blast away at deer butts. And yeah, hope you guys are well. Hope your travels are great, and that I hope that this time in Haifa, your trip is better than it was last time, because I know you were sick as a dog last time you were in Haifa. So anyway, go and run and not be weary, swim and not be weary, hike and not be weary, pilgrimage and not be weary.